Welcome to Mates Rates podcast episode 20 motherfucking 5, folks. Damn, I have sat my ass in this chair, which I should probably get a new one because it's definitely an old chair now. I've sat in this chair for 25 whole episodes. Who knows, maybe in the future we might do some podcasts outside. And by we, I mean you and myself, you the listener. So welcome again, and I hope you are all doing good, doing great, doing fine. I know I am, because, folks, I did it. I said in my last podcast episode, and I'm saying it in this one, I did my motherfucking short film. Woo! I did it, folks. I won't talk about it too much because there's like a whole behind the scenes video, and it comes out in a couple of weeks. So I want to kind of talk more in depth about it then once it's actually out. But yeah, I'm hyped that I actually did it and got it done. One thing was that we were very pushed for time. Basically, so to just give a quick overview, this film will go for like 7 minutes total. Okay, it's not long at all, and that includes credits at 7 minutes, so more like 6 minutes. We shot that in 4.5 hours. So it's that was pretty short to bit of a short time, I should say, to get that short done. But I'm stoked that we did it. Like, again, shout out to the crew and the actors. Again, skeleton crew is only like, I think in total is only like 8 of us there, but holy shit, I can't believe I got that done, and I'm really hyped to release it. Like, it's not gonna be anything like, groundbreaking. We filmed it the night of the Oscars, but I'm not going for an Oscar. I'm going for, fuck, man, if like 1,000 people watch it on YouTube, I'll be stoked. I've set very realistic expectations. And yeah, so that should be exciting. I'm going to have like a whole separate video coming out on my main YouTube channel next week. It kind of goes a little bit more in depth in it. Plus, I need to kind of boost that channel up because I haven't posted in like 6 months, and I'm sure that the algorithm will not be too kind for me taking that break. I'm sorry if I sound a bit groggy. I'm not hungover or sick for that matter. It's just early. Well, not early, but early for me to be recording a podcast. But I just needed to come on and do a quick episode because I'm jetting off to do a bunch of shit this afternoon. So I just thought I'd do a quick episode. But yeah, it got me with my short. This is what I was going to say. Sorry, I'm still fucking waking up, so forgive me. With this short, I was talking to a couple of people about it the other day, and they're asking me, are you going to go for the film festival route, or like what's the plan? Because traditionally that's what you do, right? Like, you do a film, put it in festivals, you have to wait a long time, a very long time before you can release it to the public. Like, if it does well at film festivals and you do a whole circuit, like that's like a year probably before it actually gets released. I actually DP'd a short film. If you don't know what that is, layman terms, I just did the camera work for this horror short film, like sci-fi horror short film. Fuck, man, how long ago was that? That was pre-pandemic. It would have been mid-2019, and it's still not out. I went to a screening of it, which was really cool. But yeah, that's still doing the rounds. So yeah, I'll kind of wonder when that will ever come out, actually. I'll put that on my list. That's what I'll do. I'll put that on my list. So people were asking me, yeah, are you going to do that? Are you going to chuck it in film festivals and stuff? I'm like, well, one, it's not really film festival worthy in the sense of this isn't like a proof of concept for a feature. It's not like, it's more so me just being like, yo, hey, what's up? My name is Warwick. I'm a writer and a director, and here is one of my projects. That's it. It's very much just like getting my foot in the door, if that makes sense. So the whole thing with the film festival route is like, you obviously, people going for different reasons, but the main reason is people want to get their shit greenlit for a feature film. They want a big dick film producer or someone that represents a studio to see it and think, wow, this is going to be great. This will make us lots of money. And then you go through the process of getting greenlit and doing the film and blah, blah, blah. But again, that process is pretty lengthy and the competition is very, very high. Like I've been to South by Southwest before, which you don't know, it's like this giant music and film festival in Austin, Texas, and it is nuts. Like the amount of people that is what opened my eyes to question traditional media. Not like question it, because I don't want to say anything too negative towards it, because I fuck with it, because obviously one day if I want my shit to kind of eventually get to that point, it would be cool to do a short and put it at a festival and then see if it gets green lit. So I'm not trying to shoot myself in the foot, but holy shit, the amount of people there. And it really, like, the best analogy is, it's like a whole city has gone without food and then there's one pizza. You know what I mean? And everyone has to get that fucking pizza, but there's only like 8 slices to like 1 million people. That's what that was like. And that's what opened my eyes to being like, there's got to be another way, man. There's got to be another way. So I know I'm rambling, but I appreciate you for listening to this ramble. But and that's another reason why I want to put it out online, because I'm like, well, fuck, if it does well, I would rather take the gamble of potentially millions of people watching it rather than like a handful of people in a closed off environment that, you know, it's, I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because I'm like just like an internet dude and that's how I see things. Like, for example, another fucking great example, that video that I made about calling out Tony Robbins, like, you know, calling him a scam artist. Let's pull up some statistics here, shall we, folks? So if I click here on my videos, on my analytics, it's almost at 14,000 views. 14,000 views, and all I did was just call a dude a bozo for 7.5 minutes. I didn't think it was going to do anything, but lo and behold, calling out self-help gurus pisses off a lot of people. Well, pisses off is a interesting concept, because like it was split, you know, half the people were angry, half the people were like, thank God this guy's a fucking bozo as well. So yeah, that's what kind of opened my eyes to being like, I'd rather take that gamble, you know what I mean? So by all means, that Tony Robbins video hasn't really done anything for me, but it has grown my YouTube channel. I got like 100 subscribers from it, so I'm like, fuck, okay, maybe I should call out more self-help gurus and call them more bozos. But yeah, I'm hyped to get into the edit and just smash this thing out, baby. And make sure you do go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I will be posting like a real small snippet, because it's not even worthy for a fucking trailer, but I will be posting a very small snippet so people can understand what they're going to watch in a way. But yeah, again, shout out to everyone that helped out. I really appreciate it. And hopefully this is the start of what could potentially be a career. Who knows? Where is that ringing coming from? One or two things is happening right now, folks, to sidetrack and to segue into a new section of the podcast. Either my tinnitus is really bad right now, or I'm getting a ringing from something. Okay, maybe it's my tinnitus because it kind of went sick. Okay, wear your earplugs, kids, because you have to fucking deal with that for the rest of your life if you don't. So, We did it, folks. Derek, motherfucking loser, bitch ass cop, is going to fucking prison. Did it. Guilty, guilty, guilty on all 3 charges. Holy shit. I was not expecting that. I was expecting a guilty, but only for like one of the charges type thing. So, thank fuck for that. Let's take a victory lap. Let's take a bit of a, let's say thanks for accountability, which is like the absolute bare minimum. I don't want to get like too political and stuff, but it's about fucking time. Just to put it simply, the system is clearly fucking broken. Something is clearly not working because there are too many minorities and people in general dying at the hands of cops when they shouldn't have. So, that's why I'm glad that this might hopefully be the fucking start of some change. Just do a hard reset, folks. Just Command R, that whole fucking system. Start from scratch. Delete everything. Start again. Something's got to happen, But yeah, thank God, man. It's bullshit that a lot of other cops have gotten off on similar stuff, and I know so many people are gonna have mixed views, but I'm at the point where I just don't give a fuck, man. Like, you reach a point in your life where you just don't care anymore, and that's where I'm at right now. But I'm hoping it's a start for more accountability. It blows my mind that this is an argument. Racism is bad. That has been the argument for forever. But for some people, they want to be like, actually, well, when you look at Derek, right? So with that footage, that motherfucker got caught in 4K. He got caught in 4K murdering someone. And people wanted to question it? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't give a fuck what the dude did, See, as you can tell, I'm getting fired up. So I'm going to try and tone it down a bit. But, hey, shout out to Eves as well. The eavesdropper on the gram. I toured with that dude he was on Warped Tour in 2017. I got to meet him and got to know the dude over the course of a couple of months, and he made a very interesting post about how, all these cops have arrested all these white supremacists who've gone on mass shootings, and they've just arrested them peacefully after they've just blundered like heaps of motherfuckers. And one of them, they took to fucking Burger King before taking him to the cop shop. So make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. The system's broken, man. Just fucking do something. But anyways, speaking of losers, we're just going to move on from that, okay? Speaking of losers. I've been on Reddit for a while, good old place of knowledge and where people come and argue on the internet. So I made a post. And okay, all right, yep. It was about cryptocurrency. All right, I'm not gonna get into it, but it was about crypto. But I was just saying, like, I'm stoked that I found something else that I can sink my teeth into that has made me completely forget about the pandemic. Okay, speaking of, fuck man, we were at the cafe on the weekend. We were waiting in line to get a table, and these people who were also waiting in line for a table stood right next to it. Like, I'm talking like this, like right next to us like this. So if they talked, I could hear them like that. They were right in our shit. And we were just like, like, did y'all forget? Did y'all forget we're still in a global pandemic? I know we're kind of good here in Australia, but virus be out there still, fam. Plus, just personal space as well. So when the dude came and sat us, he thought we were with all these other people. We're like, no, it's just us two. These people just don't know shit about personal space. I thought a pandemic would have taught everyone that, but clearly, people are fucking stupid. So anyways, no social distance stuff happening there. But I was just saying, like, I said in this post that I'm glad I found it because it's made me forget a lot about the pandemic, because I have been really checking in close with like the vaccine, because our country is just dragging their fucking feet with that. But I want my jab, man. I want to be able to travel again. And yeah, I know it's a white privilege thing to say, but at the same time, fuck you. I worked for that privilege, okay? I told myself when I was a kid, I want to travel the world and make films. And I have been able to do that, and I want to continue to be able to do that. So that's why I need that jab. And that's why I've been fucking following those numbers so relentlessly. Plus, all my friends overseas are getting vaccinated. So, watch this podcast episode just not do well because I've talked about too many controversial fucking topics. Anyways, this dude made a comment on the post, and I'll bring it up because I gotta read it. Haha, get it? I gotta read it because Reddit. Got him. So someone just started going on this this tirade. What they took from that of me saying thanks to the cryptocurrency community for giving me something else to think about other than pandemic, instead of talking about cryptocurrency in this subreddit, he decided to go on this complete tirade about a pandemic and how it's a fucking this and that, blah blah. And he's done the whole do your research line as well. Cool. And all I replied with was, nah, I'm good. Give me that vaccine. I'm ready to be microchipped, baby. Because I knew that would fucking fire him up. So then they sent me a link. They replied to this by sending me a link to some fucking New York Post article, which come on, man. Do you really believe everything you read on the internet? Like, you didn't want to cross-check the article first before fucking sending it? Whatever. And he's like, sure, you also want your DNA changing, right? You need a link for it also, don't you? And I said, of course I do. I'm balding at the age of 29. My DNA sucks, dude. Give me a new one. Bet he wasn't expecting that. But I don't know. I found that funny. In my head, I found it funny, but I've told a few people and they didn't find it that funny. So I thought I'd tell the internet, and hopefully the internet laughs. You laughing at home, folks? No, didn't think so. Did not fucking think so. Speaking of internet shit, right? And cryptocurrency as a whole, because this kind of ties in with all of this. So Caitlin and I are watching this video about this. Cody did a video about it. So there's this guy who built the most expensive house in the world. He put it on the market for $500 million. And it is the biggest house in the world. Biggest house in the world? Yeah, it's fucking huge. It's like 3 white houses in one property. Take a wild fucking guess where it's at. Spoiler alert, it's LA. So this guy has basically in Cody's findings, because the dude listed for $500 million, then he bumped it down to $300 million, just knocked off, it's a discount, folks. It's almost half price. What are you doing watching this video? Go buy that house. $300 million. Oh, almost 50% off. So in the video, Cody exposed the dude who built the house and was like, this guy has done this in the past. He's built these extravagant houses and then he struggled to sell them, and then he's had to sell them at a loss, or have the house foreclosed because he borrowed all this money from the fucking bank and he couldn't sell it quick enough and he couldn't pay it back. So this is exactly what's happening now. So they're saying they're giving him like 90 days to sell the house. Otherwise, they're going to seize it and take it from him. And he's freaking the fuck out. So he's going hard on vlogs and press to try and sell this house. So it's funny watching the video, watching the walkthrough with Cody, because you could tell that the dude was really trying to sell the house. And, I've seen I love watching real estate videos because I think to myself, hey, wouldn't it be nice to one day wake up to a shitload of money in your bank account and you can afford a fucking $10 million house? That is mental. That means you're probably making $30 million to be able to make that call. Like, it's mind-blowing. So that, and they're always really cool because they talk about the features of the house and the location and blah, blah, blah. It's cool, all right? How the other half live. This dude was like, look at this feature. Oh, look at this. Oh, you got to come check this, man. Oh, yeah. And I've got this, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. And I can tell. I can see it getting to the point where it's close to those 90 days before the fucking bank takes the house. And he's like, just makes a video, like a sit down video, like an apology type video that YouTube is making. Just go, please buy the house. Oh my God, I'm just in so much trouble. They're going to take everything, you know? So that's a fine lesson in don't invest what you can't afford to lose, which is the absolute basics of investing in general. But it's the same thing as like stocks and stuff as well. And I'm not getting into the stocks like too deep here, but I do see online. I do keep up online. Whatever, man. It's too early for this shit. I do keep up online of what people are talking about, what stocks they're looking at and what companies, and for these reasons and those reasons. But it's getting to this point where a lot of people are doing these videos where they're just like, oh, you know, buy this stock. But you can tell that they're kind of forceful about it and not really giving much information. They're just like, you want to be rich? Buy this, buy that, buy this stock. And you can tell that they have definitely probably invested a lot of their money into this stock. And they're probably, oh shit, this might not go as well as I think it is, so I better jump online and do it. So simple lesson, you know, don't invest what you can't afford to lose. So basically same as gambling though, really, when you think about it. So, all right, let's move on to, because I've got a couple of rough points. All right, let's do fight hour. Fucking hell, my brain just stopped working for a second. Let's do fight hour at the moment. So, Jake Paul fucking fighting Ben Askren. Do you think Ben was asking for it? Yeah, knockout in like the first 20 seconds. I'm sorry if you're not really interested in fighting. I'm not really interested in fighting either. Here's a fun fact for you. I have been training Muay Thai for the last 6 months or so now. And I've been sparring. I think I've spoke about this in another episode. But the other week, I took a punch to the face. I left my guard down, and it wasn't a heavy punch. But still, I got punched in the face. And let me fucking tell you something about being punched in the face as a 29-year-old dude. That shit fucking sucks. It sucked when I was a teenager, and it sucks now. I thought by now I'd be used to it, especially like with training, you know. I thought I'd get used to having hits thrown at me because I've been you take a lot of body shots during sparring. That's what you do because you're defending, you know, your body's taking the blow. I'm not going to get into the logistics of blocking a punch. So yeah, I took a punch to the head. It kind of sucked. I think the adrenaline was just running through my body though. The next day I woke up with the biggest fucking headache I've had in my life. And I just there and then I was like, you know what? The fighting's just not worth it. I would never want to take an actual punch to the face because we've got gloves on as well. Okay. So you can call me a fucking bitch if you want. I don't care. All I'm saying is being punched in the face fucking sucks. So, it's funny because, you know, I say that and twice a week I go and get punches thrown at my face. But it won't stop me doing it because I fucking love the sport, even though I don't watch any fighting. So yeah, I watched the Jake Paul fight. I didn't pay for it because I don't want to pay for a YouTuber and an old UFC fighter going at it. But you could tell that Ben Askren just did not give a fuck. From the get-go, he was just like, yeah, whatever. I'll try and fight this kid. If I beat him, cool. If not, whatever. It's a cash grab for me. Sure enough, knockout in the first, 40 seconds? Or something like that in the first round. It was like, you know, left, right, good night. But you could tell that, like, Ben just, again, he just didn't give a fuck. And he walked away with like $10 million. So why would he care? He's just like, whatever, you know, I'll let that kid have the victory. I've got $10 million, so who's the winner, folks? So that's what I mean. People try to analyze the fight, but at the end of the day, if for whatever reason, no, I'd never be a professional fighter. if I was ever in that position where I got an opportunity to fight someone and they told me, yo, if you just rock up, if you just get here and if you just lose, you'll get paid 10 million bucks. I'm like, cool, let's do it. Give me 30 seconds and I'll walk away with 10 million bucks. I don't like, I get the whole sporting side of things and, that's not true sportsmanship or whatever. But when there's 10 million bucks on the line, come on. Everyone's a winner in my eyes. I do find that fight was hilarious in the sense of Snoop Dogg commentating and Pete Davidson hosting and Pete Davidson just ripping into Jake Paul. Oh, fuck, that was funny. I'd love to see a Pete Davidson and Jake Paul fight. That would be hilarious. But actually, no, because Pete Davidson gets his ass whooped. And I wouldn't want that for that dude. Quick other fight thing. Who watched the UFC fight where the dude snapped his fucking leg in the first 15 seconds? Speaking of fucking short fights, again, I don't watch the UFC at all, but I do. But now that I have been training, I've been semi-invested. So I don't even know who the fight was between, to be honest with you. But basically, dude kicked the other guy in the leg, and the dude who kicked got his leg snapped in half, which is fucking mental. And I didn't know this because it was the first thing thrown. It was the first move thrown in the whole fight. That was the first ever UFC fight that was won without the opponent throwing any punches, because he was the first guy to attack. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess that's cool, but not cool for the dude that snapped his leg. Man, I'm just playing that over my head. I'm like, that is gnarly. So, again, another reason why you shouldn't fight kids. Keep that shit to yourself. So I want to quickly talk about, I know this is all over, but I really wanted to talk about this story. I know I've said in the past that I want to do a whole episode dedicated to hood rich stories, shit that I did on the come up to try and get me to where I'm at today. Because I hustled a lot and I did a lot of weird shit. Took a lot of weird jobs to be able to get to where I'm at today, and just stuff to pay the bills. Here is one I just thought of the other day that I needed to share with all of you, okay? So, back in 2013, when I first moved to Melbourne, I was working at some indie record label studio, and that's the whole reason why I moved to Melbourne in the first place. I was like, here's an opportunity, and I get to film every single day. I was making fuck all money, but I was thinking to myself, hey, get to do what I want, and that's great. So, because the money wasn't great, I wanted more camera gear. I wanted better camera gear, but I just wasn't making enough money to be able to do that. I was just making enough money to pay all my bills and my rent. I was living very much paycheck to paycheck. So the guy who ran the label, he was a bit unhinged in some ways. He had some crazy ideas. He always had crazy ideas. He always had ideas where he's like, oh, if you do this is an automatic cash grab and blah, blah, blah. So, but me being a very naive 21-year-old at the time, I think I was, I just went along with everything he said because I just believed everything he said, because I was like, well, this dude runs this label. He's got his partnerships with Sony and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, sure. I'll go along with whatever he says. Anyways, one day I approach him and I tell him, hey, I'm trying to find a way to get more money to get better camera gear. I need a couple of grand and I should be set for many years to come. So he turned to me and he said, how about you host a fundraising event? Now, the studio that we were at upstairs, there was a rooftop where every now and then we would host events for artists, and you pay $5 at the door, and it's like a sausage sizzle, and you get a drink, and blah, blah, blah. And it was a cool vibe during the summer as well. So he's like, how about you host one of these events as a fundraiser for you to get money? I was like, oh yeah, of course. They always do pretty well. So anyways, I bust my ass off for a couple of weeks getting artists to come on board for it, and organizing invitations and a guest list and blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of work that went into this whole project. So the day comes around, we do it. It seemed to go pretty well. It was a little bit quieter than I liked, but I was like, all right, cool, there should be some money to be made here. Mind you, at this point, I had spent weeks working on this. Okay, so I was dedicated a lot of my time trying to get this whole thing to go on. So, fuck. Just even thinking about this is so funny. So, after expenses from the whole thing, because I had to pay for sausage sizzles, had to get a new gas bottle for the barbecue, and pay for all these drinks and shit like that. After all expenses, I made a total of $4. And wait for it, I put the event on with a friend of mine, so I had to split the money with him. So I walked away with $2. I walked away with $2. Holy shit. Oh my God. That was a pretty embarrassing time of my life. And I ended up just getting a credit card instead of just chucking it all there. And that's what started my credit card debt. But yeah, that is one of my many hustling type stories that I have that I did to try and get to where I'm at now. And fuck, man, I can't believe I totally forgot about that story, because in my eyes, that's probably one of the it goes to show the lengths that I went to try and get to where I'm at now. And it's fucking funny, man. Like, you know, you can laugh at my expense, like, because it was, now that I think about it, now that it's been like 8 years or whatever since that event, it was fucking stupid. Like, it was so dumb for me to try and think that was going to actually work. Okay. Like, I wasn't expecting to get a couple of grand out of it, but I was like, oh, you know, if I can get $500, that'd be fucking sick. Well, yeah, I ended up just getting a credit card and chucking it all on there. So, yeah, that's one of the many stories that I've got with that. So I'm going to wrap it up, folks. The last thing I want to say is, over the weekend, the fuck is that sound? Oh, it's my laptop's about to take off. That's what that humming sound is. Over the weekend, I spotted 2 of my commercials out in the wild, which is nuts. So, for the fucking 3 people who don't know, like, that's what I do as a living. I'm a filmmaker. I mainly work in the commercial field. So over the weekend, on Saturday, we went to the Chadstone Shopping Centre, and I walked past Hair House Warehouse, and on the giant screens in the store was my commercial. And I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot that was coming out. And I was like, yeah, because we filmed that like a month, like 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago, something like that. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about this. I was like, yeah, no, that's mad. Like, I forgot that was coming out. So that was really cool. It's always really sick when you see your work out in the wild. And then on Sunday, we went to Woolworths, for you folks that don't know. I was just trying to get snacks and stuff for the for my short film. And on the screens at the Woolies, there was a commercial I did for the yogurt company I was telling you about last week. Yeah, the commercial I did for them was out on their screens as well. And I was just like, what the fuck? It is such a cool, it's really cool. You know, it's one of those things that I remember when I first started doing music videos, and I did some for bigger artists. And one time I walked into McDonald's, and the TVs at McDonald's, like, years ago, I don't know if they still do now, but they used to play Channel V. And yeah, I've walked in and I've seen my music videos before. People have seen my music videos like at gyms and bowling alleys and all other type of weird places, which has been really cool. But doing like a back-to-back thing and seeing different commercials in different places is such a fucking trip, man. Like, it's really cool to see your work like out in the wild like that. So those stores are nationwide, which again, it's fucking crazy. So if you are at like a Hair House or a Woolies and you see either of those commercials, take a photo or some shit, man. I don't know. Like, well, probably, I don't know if you want to take a photo of my work, but yeah, it's cool. All I'm saying is it's cool as fuck, man. It's it's my favorite part of my job, hands down. You know, this shit's never been about money, views, or anything like that. It's just those little moments, or those moments where you talk to someone and are like, "Oh, I know you from what you've done." That's cool as fuck as well, you know. So yeah, I just appreciate everyone that's kind of gotten me to this point as well. You know, I look back to that story of walking away with $2, and I know like that time of my life was so weird. It was such it was a bit of a struggle and everything, but if I was to tell myself back then that this is where I'd be at now, I honestly wouldn't fucking believe you. Wouldn't also believe you if I said, yo, there'll be a fucking global pandemic in like 7 years. Buckle up, bitch. So, anyways, I just want to say shout out and thank you to everyone again who has supported me, and hopefully you enjoy the short film that'll come out. I'm gonna actually start sinking my teeth into it now before I gotta jet off for the afternoon. But that's it, folks. We've crossed the 35-minute mark, and I think that's going to be enough for today. So, thank you so much for listening. If you are listening to this on iTunes, or the podcast thing, whatever, give it a 5-star rating. And if you're watching the YouTube version, just like, comment, and subscribe to either of those things. Just like the video, okay? Like the video, because it's the simplest form of you to say thank you to me for doing this shit every single week, because I don't really care if I make money from this or not. I just really like doing podcasts. But if you like the video, more people will see it, and, you know, I don't know, maybe tell your friend about it. I've also got an email, which I always forget to plug at the start of the podcast, because people would probably drop off by now. And I'm probably just talking to myself, but I don't care. It's matesratepod@gmail.com. Send me an email if you ever want to give me a story to talk about or whatever. Just chat to me, man. Like that's chill. I also have an Instagram, Mates Rates Podcast, but I'm honestly on there once a week to post this podcast. So if you send me a message, I won't see it for a while. I'll try to get better on that. But yeah, thank you again for listening. Have a fucking great week or day, whatever. The sun's out. I got to get out and do something, man. Today's too nice to fucking be cooped up inside. But thank you so much again, and I'll see you all next week, all right? Peace and love, baby. All that type of shit. All right. See you guys. Bye.